Tonight, we're learning an initiative banning transgender student athletes from competing in girls' sports is moving forward in Washington state. We'll tell you what's next.
Sunshine returns tomorrow, but it comes with some bitter cold mornings this weekend.
Plus, ICE is considering putting a new detention facility in Washington. What public documents reveal about the potential project? Good evening, and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News. I'm Sydney Schofield. Well, it's gaining traction tonight, an initiative in Washington state that would require student athletes to compete in sports based on their gender assigned at birth rather than their gender identity. The group behind the initiative is called Let's Go Washington, and tonight we're learning they got enough signatures for this initiative to go to the legislature. State lawmakers will have the opportunity to consider it, although some Democratic lawmakers indicated a couple weeks ago that they don't plan to consider the initiative. If that turns out to be true, the decision will then be in the hands of voters in November. 445,000 people signed this initiative, and the founder of Let's Go Washington, Brian Haywood, is confident that voters will pass it if given the chance later this year. So if it does pass, how would this work? Well, student athletes are already required to get physicals before competing in sports. So this initiative would mean doctors would verify gender as a part of the physical to determine a student's eligibility for whichever sport they're hoping to compete in. The other big question, how many students would this impact? Well, some groups estimate there are about 10 transgender female students in the state hoping to compete in girls' sports. Haywood of Let's Go Washington thinks that number might be higher, but he says he doesn't think the actual number really matters at the end of the day.
Doesn't matter whether it's 3 or 400. If you're a girl in a locker room and a boy comes in, it matters to you, and it matters to every girl in there. So who are we protecting is part of the question. Suggesting that biological boys should be allowed in girls' sports, I think in 10 years we're going to look back and go, what in the world was going on here?
Now, many groups have come out against this initiative, including the Washington Education Association, the state's teachers union. They have a statement on their website about this initiative saying, quote, "We all want fairness and safety in sports, but requiring invasive exams of reproductive organs on all girls who want to play sports, even those as young as 11, violates their privacy, increases chances of abuse, and discourages girls from the benefits of being on a team. Boys are exempt." We'll certainly keep you updated as this moves through the legislature. And if it does end up on the ballot in November, of course, we will let you know. All right, let's take a break from the headlines. Let's switch gears and take a first look at that forecast with Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, some areas getting a little breaks in the clouds tonight?
Yes, I was actually just checking out satellite imagery and going, no way, it's actually happening. For us here in Spokane, not quite yet. Temps still sit in the 28-degree range, basically where they've been for days now. But if you get off to the north, starting to get some of those breaks in places like Deer Park and Coeur d'Alene, where your temperatures are dropping. We are seeing breaks in the clouds as all of this cloud cover continues to kind of slide to the south. It will do that all night. Here's the backside of our next band here, and then those move out, and we should start to see some sunshine tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like it'll be sunny across much of the region with wind picking up. By the afternoon, just get outside, play hooky, leave work. I'm telling you, that's what you're going to want to do. Saturday, we might wake up to a little bit of patchy fog. It's a big might, and we'll talk why coming up in the full forecast. But for now, just know, chance of sun Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with high near 30. Overnight lows fall back into the teens.
Jeremy, thank you. A woman is recovering tonight after being hit by a Spokane County scope car in the valley this morning. According to Washington State Patrol, the volunteer was heading west on East Montgomery off of North Argonne, and that's when the trooper says that he ran a red light, hitting a 61-year-old woman. She was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. WSP is investigating at the sheriff's request. ICE is looking to expand detention capacity in the Northwest, including around Tacoma. Public documents outline the requirements. The feds made it clear they're looking for a facility that can house just over 1,600 detainees and 5 courtrooms for immigration hearings. Right now, the Northwest ICE Processing Center in Tacoma has a maximum capacity of just under 1,600. Other requirements include access to the airport for deportations and proximity to emergency services. A Washington state bill could roll back Spokane's new public camping law, making it harder for the city to enforce its rules. Well, tonight, Spokane city leaders are responding. KREM 2's chief journalist Amanda Rowley shares what steps the city wants to take to protect its public camping ordinance.
A bill discussed this week could limit how Washington cities handle public camping. It's co-sponsored by two of Spokane's legislators, a point of frustration for city leaders who say the bill doesn't reflect the direction Spokane is going.
What if Spokane couldn't enforce its public camping law at all? House Bill 2489 could restrict how cities like Spokane enforce public camping laws.
I'm incredibly concerned about this bill.
City Council member Michael Cathcart was part of the unanimously approved Safe and Accessible Spaces ordinance passed in October. It allows police to issue citations for camping or blocking sidewalks and other public spaces. But House Bill 2489 would change that. If passed, Spokane police couldn't ticket, cite, or move someone for camping unless the city can prove there was adequate shelter space available at that time. That shelter would have to be free, allow pets, partners, possessions, accommodate disabilities, and be inside city limits. If the city can't prove that, enforcement could be blocked and it could face lawsuits.
To me, this bill is not in any way, shape, or form reflective of the direction that the City of Spokane citizens want to go, City of Spokane leadership wants to go.
Councilmember Paul Dillon shared a statement saying city leaders are watching the bill closely. He also believes these decisions are best made at the city level. Since the city's public camping law went into effect, the Spokane Police Department says it issued nearly 700 unlawful camping-related citations. That's nearly 500 more citations compared to the same time frame the year before.
I just yesterday heard Chief Hall say that he is believes that what we're doing now is actually starting to work from his perspective. And to implement something like this, I know would definitely throw a wrench in, what we have going that's working.
Cathcart plans to formally oppose the state bill by adding it to the city's legislative agenda, allowing Spokane to lobby against it. He says if the legislative committee doesn't act, he'll take the issue directly to the full city council.
Now, I've reached out to Spokane's legislators about this bill. I'll share their response when we hear back and keep you updated on the bill's progress. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Okay, it's time for your night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The bodies of two climbers have been recovered from Mount Rainier. The National Park Service says 35-year-old Ben Watson, pictured here, along with 50-year-old Yuri Richter, they were found on Tuesday in the Wilson Glacier area. Family and friends had not heard from them since Saturday. Park rangers launched a search and found their vehicle in the Paradise parking lot. Searchers also spotted two people near Wilson Glacier, but weather conditions prevented them from getting to the area until Tuesday. Both men were taken to the Pierce County Medical Examiner's office. And we're also learning two more hikers who died last week on Lena Lake Trail in the Olympics, 70-year-old Christine Muchler and 76-year-old Kathy Pickard. Park authorities say a tree fell on them. Kathy died at the scene. Christine was airlifted to Harborview but did not survive. New tonight, we're hearing from their daughter. That's coming up in just 3 minutes. Idaho Fish and Game is proposing removing about 100 non-migratory elk on private land this spring and summer. Their goal is to reduce damages to agricultural land. Last year, elk caused more than $1 million in damages to private property in Payette County. The department says they're going to relocate 40 of them, and they plan to kill 60 more. Fish and Game says they've tried to relocate elk before, but it was not safe for them. They say trying to relocate them again likely would not work. That's it for your night beat. For more on any of these stories, just head to our website, KREM.com. All right, don't go to bed just yet. The Jewish Film Festival is back in Spokane. A closer look at one of the powerful films that premiered tonight. But first, back to that tragic hike in the Olympics where a falling tree killed two people. How their families are finding ways to honor them. That's in 90 seconds.